You walk into a room with a purpose, and the moment you step inside, it's gone. Not just lost, erased. You knew exactly what you were doing just seconds ago, so what happened between the hallway and here? The answer isn't simple forgetfulness. It's not a moment of distraction, and it definitely isn't a sign of aging. It's something far stranger, a built-in psychological reset button that activates the moment you cross a doorway. This happens to everyone. A kid running to their room to grab a textbook, a surgeon walking into an operating theater, an engineer heading to the lab for a specific tool. The experience is too consistent to be random, and far too universal to be a coincidence. For centuries, it was just one of those unexamined quirks of being human. But then, psychologists began to realize this momentary glitch isn't a glitch at all. It's a window into the fundamental way your brain organizes reality itself. You see, your brain doesn't store life as one long, continuous film.
Instead, it breaks your day into distinct scenes, like chapters in a book or cuts in a movie. This system is part of what's known as episodic memory. The kitchen, with its morning light and the smell of coffee, that's one scene. The short walk down the hallway, that's another. And the bedroom you just entered, your brain files that as a completely new chapter. And here's the critical part. When you enter a new scene, your brain often closes the old one entirely, including the intention that lived inside it. It essentially archives the previous event to free up mental resources for the new one. It thinks, new room, new context. The previous goal might no longer matter. This isn't just a theory. It's a phenomenon called the doorway effect, and it's been tested. Psychologist Gabriel Radvansky had participants move through a virtual environment. Their task was simple: pick up an object in one room and carry it to another. But every time they walked through a doorway, their memory of the object dropped sharply. The most fascinating part? The effect happened even if the new room looked identical to the old one. It even happened when they turned around and walked right back through the same doorway. This proved the doorway itself wasn't a physical change, but a psychological boundary. It was an invisible line that told the brain, this is a new scene. Clear the working memory for what comes next. So why would our brains be hardwired with such a disruptive feature? The answer lies deep in our evolutionary past. To early humans, crossing a threshold from a dense forest into an open clearing, or from a familiar cave into the unknown wilderness, meant potential danger. Predators, rivals, cliffs, traps. In that moment, remembering why you left the cave was far less important than scanning the new environment with your full, undivided attention. Your brain evolved to flush old, less relevant information so it could be hyper-aware of the present. That fleeting moment of forgetfulness in your apartment hallway is a leftover survival instinct, a prehistoric alarm system, still firing to keep you safe in a world that no longer requires it. So the next time you find yourself standing in a room, completely blank, don't get frustrated. It isn't a sign of a failing mind. It's a sign of a brain working exactly as it was designed to. A quiet echo from a time when every new room held the possibility of both great danger and great discovery. It's a reminder to pay attention to where you are right now. A doorway doesn't erase your thoughts because you're forgetful. It erases them because your brain is optimizing for survival, scene by scene, room by room. Now let's break down why it happens today and what you can do to keep your thoughts from disappearing. Think of your working memory as a tiny desk, able to hold only a few pieces of information at once, maybe 4 or 5 items max. It's the mental space where you hold a phone number right before you dial it, or the next step in a recipe. It's incredibly powerful, but also incredibly limited. Neuroscientists call what happens at a doorway event segmentation. Your brain sees the new room as a new scene,
a new event. As you cross the threshold, it does a quick, ruthless inventory check. Is the information from the last scene relevant here in this new context? More often than not, it decides, not needed, clear it. And just like that, the thought is swept off the desk to make space for the new scene. It isn't a glitch, it's a feature. Your brain is cleaning the desk for what's next. But in the modern world, that feature is working overtime. Your brain is fighting more stimuli than ever before. Notifications pinging on your phone, the low hum of a podcast in the background, visual clutter in the corner of your eye, the persistent low-grade stress of a packed schedule. We try to multitask, believing we're being efficient, but we're really just stretching our mental bandwidth dangerously thin. Our cognitive load is constantly maxed out. So, when you step into a new space, that tiny environmental shift is all it takes to overwhelm the system. It's the final straw that triggers a complete scene reset. Your brain isn't failing, it's overloaded. The good news is you can override the reset. You can learn to cooperate with your brain's design. 3 simple tricks can make a world of difference. First, mentally label your intention. Before you move, give your mission a name. Say it out loud or just in your head. I'm getting my keys. I'm checking the stove. This simple act pins the thought to a stronger, more long-term memory system. It's no longer a temporary item on the desk, it's a file saved to the hard drive. Second, slow down the transition. As you approach a doorway, just pause. Take one breath, one extra second. This gives your brain a moment to integrate your intention, to understand that this one thought needs to be carried into the next scene. And third, strengthen your spaces. Less clutter, fewer distractions, and having consistent locations for things like your keys and wallet. These all reduce your baseline cognitive load. They prevent your brain from making accidental scene cuts because it isn't constantly struggling to process a chaotic environment. Your mind isn't broken, it's brilliant, constantly dividing your world into manageable scenes so you can survive, focus, and understand the moment you're in. Sometimes you'll still lose your intention in a doorway, and that's okay, because every doorway is also an invitation, an opportunity to slow down, to be present, and to enter the next moment with awareness. Even the thoughts we forget can teach us something profound about how our minds work and how we move thoughtfully through the world. Stay curious. This is Unremarkably Remarkable. Like, subscribe, and let's keep exploring how even the unremarkable can surprise us.